I've been married to a narcissist for over 25 years. What should I do? Should I start over? Wow, I don't even know where to start. It's been about 5 years since I've become aware that the man I married had something wrong with him. Do you want to know what I did? I wrote out some of the things he said into an internet search, and you'll never guess what popped up. It turns out he might be narcissistic, and all of these associated characteristics came up. The internet search told me that he likes to shift blame to me, that he might like to gaslight me, and that he would probably give me the silent treatment. And it's true. He's done all of those things. We've gone to therapy. We saw two separate therapists who suggested that he seek individual therapy to work on himself, his anger and his triggers before continuing couples therapy. Obviously, he didn't. He thinks it's a huge waste of time and money. I felt validated, probably for the first time ever in my life. My parents were both self-absorbed. They were alcoholics and neglected my needs. I left home at 15 years old, and for years I lived paycheck to paycheck. I've worked most of my life. I know now that for years I've been an easy target for abusers. I started working on myself to try to learn how to cope, to understand my attachment style, and see how my husband's consistent emotional neglect and abuse has affected me. I've learned to apply techniques I've read about like grey rock, setting boundaries, meditating. You name it, I've tried it. Today was the worst. His random shutdowns and anger towards our new puppy simply sent me into a meltdown. I'm ashamed to admit that I fell apart. My emotional state is in a tailspin. I swore. I yelled. Heck, I even smoked 2 cigarettes in an attempt to cope. His verbal abuse just breaks me down. He is so icy, so disdainful, and I find myself doing exactly what I know I should never do. I try to get him to understand how he's hurt me, to acknowledge that his behaviour is inappropriate. He replied with his usual retorts. You're overreacting. You're acting crazy. You've got too much time on your hands. You're overanalyzing. All you do is research all this psychological stuff all the time. Just leave me then. If you stay with me, it's your fault. If I'm really that bad, then why do you stay? I don't feel like talking. I didn't get a chance to comfort you when you cry. I don't feel loving towards you. It just goes on and on and on. What? How did I end up in this verbal whack-a-mole game over and over again? It's like Groundhog Day, it goes on until I'm so angry, hurt and exhausted. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. And I want out. But how? How do I leave now? I mean, if I were in my 30s and I knew then what I finally know now, I'd be out of here. But I'm in my 50s. He has always worked, and I rely on his healthcare benefits. And the cost of living is astronomical. The fear of starting over at this age is real. I don't want to end up like the women you read about, those that are struggling just to pay rent, but I'm so alone. We have 2 children, but I cannot and will not burn in them with this issue. I don't have any family. My alcoholic parents ended up with multiple spouses and multiple divorces, and I'm not close to any of them. I was scapegoat daughter, and I chased my family members for love and for acceptance for decades, especially my mother, and all for nothing. There's been so much loss and a strange moment in my life, no one that I can rely on for support. I never had a support system. Currently, I don't work. I have no friends except the occasional lunch or coffee date. I try to connect with others at church or to volunteer to meet people. I tried to reach out or connect, but everyone has their own established connections and friendships, especially at this age, people in their 50s and 60s. They're not looking for new friends, and I'm not saying this with self-pity, but the plain truth is people simply don't need me in their circle. I'm not unliked. I'm just not necessary to their happiness. They already have their own established support networks, friends from college or long-time girlfriends that they do stuff with and have been connected to for years. I don't know what to do. How am I supposed to survive in this marriage without emotional support? My husband is neglectful and wouldn't care if I'm sick or injured, so I worry about what would happen to me if I became ill. This concern becomes more and more real the older I get. I consider myself strong and resilient, positive and loving, but these last few years I've become sadder and less hopeful. The truth is, I'm lonely. I hide it, but wearing a mask all the time is exhausting. For those who stayed married to a narcissist or manipulative man, what do you do to survive?